talk shows and the TV, you hear one thing again and again, how the USA stands for freedom, and we come to the aid of a friend.
Tony. Isn't this Tony? Oh, Tony Ryan. Yeah.
Welcome back. It's the Will and Willie Show. This is the special internet-only segment. I'm Paul Wells with Will Durst and Willie Brown, and it's a pleasure to get together with you again on the elections coming up. We're right before convention time. This will also be our show before the November elections. We'll come up then again too. But right now, let's take this segment to talk about some things we didn't cover in the other segments. Let's talk about one thing we didn't cover yet, and that's the Giants and Melky Cabrera. And what's going on with
Oh, man, it
baseball.
was so depressing at the park because we finally got Pablo back. We had traded for Pence, and I say we because I root for whoever wears the San Francisco Giants uniform. If they were, Clayton Kershaw was traded to the Giants, I would root for it. I root for laundry. I'll be honest. I root for the laundry that they're wearing. And we finally had Pablo back. We had Melky, we had Pablo, we had Posey, we had Pence, and Pagan. It was big P's, a lot of P's.
And Scudero.
And Scudero, we had our lineup for one day. One day, Pablo came back. They were all in the lineup for one day. The next day, Melky was spoiled Melky. He was spoiled Melky. And they had the Giants had just started this new thing where they had the Melky hats, like the milkman hats, and they had bought thousands of them. Oh, geez, so I don't know what they're doing with them, but I'll take one. I'll take one. You know, if you're giving them away. You watch, there'll be homeless guys wearing, because they'll donate them to Goodwill or something. There'll be a lot of homeless guys in
milkman hats.
But it refocuses the spotlight on the whole business of performance-enhanced substance. If what he took had been prescribed, it would have been perfectly all right. And I don't understand why in Major League Baseball the players don't seek, if they're interested in those quick healing substance, why they don't seek authorization to use them as part of their health rehab. Steroids, for an example, or a prescribed medical medication that you can take for certain kinds of illnesses and certain kinds of ailments. And you would not be expected to test other than positive if it had been so done. And so I think that we're at this stage where we really ought to become a bit more adult about the use of enhancing drugs. And if that happens to be what some player seems to think they need because their knee is no longer what it was, and some doctor can so prescribe it, and they notify the appropriate authorities, and the appropriate authorities sign off on it, so be it.
Well, they figure out that the new testosterone drug that purportedly Melky used is something that disappears from your system, so you can wipe it on in the morning and go through the entire day, and it will be out of your system by the end of the day, by the end of so they're developing this stuff so fast, and the league is trying to keep up with the testing, and they're hearing about something, and then they're testing for it, and then they're moving on to the next thing. It's kind of a game of leapfrog they're being played.
Speaking of the testing, the guy who obviously must be somewhat of an authority, Conte, just opined a couple of days ago that the Major League Baseball operations are in fact testing incorrectly. They really should test for the ultimate drug rather than all these preliminaries, because they can't find the preliminaries as simply as they could for the real one. And if they test for the real one, they don't need to find it.
That's a blood test, right?
Yes.
That's a blood test. And I don't think they're allowed to do blood tests.
Now they can do urine.
Yeah.
He now says that the newest of the tests, you can do the urine.
And discover it.
Yeah. And it comes through there. But I again say, I don't understand the objection to the use of those drugs if they are prescribed. The prescription could very well be the difference between your saving your own life. Forget your performance,
And
but saving your own life.
I like the fact that it's always San Francisco.
Oh, the national media is putting that up in the sports.
Damn straight.
It's a San Francisco problem.
It's time to stop apologizing for it. It's time to stand up. No, we are the cutting edge of the new technology. You want to learn how to be bigger and faster and stronger and longer, you come here.
And heal faster.
That's right.
You know, the whole business of whether or not your knee comes back in 6 months or 6 years. If it can come back in 6 months, I ought to be able to get my knee back in 6 months.
I'll take anything.
Absolutely. Get my knee operational again, period.
I have a sneaky suspicion when you look at the trade that was made with Kansas City for Melky Cabrera, that his performance level spiked last year, and they might have known that he had used substances.
Oh, no, wait a minute. What they got, though, for him was Jonathan Sanchez.
They got a no-hit pitcher. They got a pitcher who threw a no-hit game, you know?
Jonathan? Yeah, but he's gone.
Oh,
He
yeah.
now
He did
plays
not
for the
do well.
Rockies.
He did not do well.
He's won 2 games all year.
That's the point.
But he won his first 2 games.
Yeah.
He won his first 2 games. So
the
it
last
looked,
2 games.
No, he was
And that's the last 2 games.
Yeah,
he won.
yes. And the Rockies traded him to Kansas City. He was a pitcher who was 2-7, I think, with a 6.39 ERA. And the Rockies gave Kansas City a pitcher with a 3-8 record with a 6.7 ERA. So they both thought a change of, you know,
Environment.
right, might help you out. We've seen it happen. Pat Burrell. Remember in 2010, Pat Burrell was hitting what? 194 for Tampa Bay Rays. They just let him go. He came to San Francisco and he was
Helped propel us into the World Series.
So
he's a
sometimes,
San Francisco Bay Area person, too.
and he's living in the marina, and he's probably not getting up before 3 anytime. If any of you
Because
have
nothing
been down to the
opens
marina.
where he goes.
For him, it was coming home.
What are you talking about?
Well, that's what the Giants are looking for now. The Giants need another outfielder. They need to replace Melky Cabrera.
And they need one more bat.
That's right.
They need
That's
one more
right.
bat.
And it's not Justin Christian.
And no.
No. And they need Lincecum to smoke pot again.
Is that his problem?
That's the problem. He got busted for pot, and now he's afraid of being busted again. It was in the offseason. He thinks too much. He's too smart to be a ball player, and he needs to just zone out. And that's noon Tuesday. Means I love you.
And if he doesn't recognize that himself fairly soon, he's going to be an ex-ball player.
But something will happen as you get older. You don't need the same kind of stimulus that you needed as a kid. You're able to zone out. He'll learn, and his body is changing. The way that Tiger's body changed. Remember, Tiger was that lithe kind of gammon, kind of whippet kind of a thing, and then he had to change his swing because he was getting older. He was getting chunkier. You're not the same thing. And same thing's happening to Lincecum.
The difference with Tiger, though, is that Tiger deliberately
Changed
kept
his swing.
changing
Yes.
year in and year out. Every 2 or 3 years, he understood that there was a difference in his physical ability.
And Lincecum's smart enough; he'll figure it out.
And
although
I
Barry
hope he
didn't.
figures it out soon than later.
Yeah.
Because believe me, if we had Lincecum pitching the way he is capable
we'd be
of
7
pitching,
games ahead.
easily 7 games ahead, we would have 4 guys that were all around 15 and 6. Or
Yeah.
15
And Barry
7.
Zito's just going to be Barry Zito.
Barry's got
Zito-
1 more year on the payroll.
Yeah,
This
Barry
year we get
Zito
rid of.
got $126 million.
We're still paying Ewawoa. We're still paying Ewawoa for this year. We're paying Huff for this year. So that's a lot of money that comes off the payroll at the end of this year.
All right.
Ewawoa.
So we'll see how far the Giants go. Let's do a quick prediction on the 49ers and the Oakland Raiders, our football teams.
The Raiders in trouble. They're still maybe 2 years away from being the quality team that Allen can eventually make them. Their players are just not up to it yet. The spirit is not there, and Al Davis has been dead too shortly. And so it'll be a while before they get it around. The 49ers, on the other hand, if they stay healthy, and that's going to be a real problem this year.
Tougher schedule.
That is correct. They stay healthy, they've got a good shot. Randy Moss is now there, and he is going to be a situational player for them. Crabtree, I think, will no longer be the victim of injuries in every game. I think they'll get rid of the fumblers like Kevin Williams and a few of those guys, Kyle Williams and a few of those guys. I think that this boy Hunter is going to give Gore a lot more rest periods than Gore has had in the past.
And Michael James.
And I think, LaMichael James is going to be able to spell whenever Gore needs to be spelled. Jacobs is going to be the workhorse for 1-yard thrust in 265 pounds. I'd get out of his way.
You can see why Willie
And I
Brown had a
predict this is one of the few
show.
years where both the Giants, or the baseball team, and the football team win the world titles. Giants win the World Series. Niners win the Super Bowl. You heard it here first.
And I sell Facebook.
Thank you for watching the Will and Willie Show and listening. I'm Paul Wells with Will Durst. Willie Brown will catch you right before the election in November.